Have you ever just looked up at the night sky and really wondered where all of this came from? I mean, everything. Space, time, the stars, you, me. It is the biggest question, right? And believe it or not, science is getting incredibly close to an answer. But it all starts by asking an even more specific question.
And that question is this: what was there before the Big Bang? Now that seems pretty straightforward, but it's one of the trickiest questions in all of physics. And the answer? Well, it might just blow your mind. Because it turns out, to understand what came before the Big Bang, we first have to get on the same page about what the Big Bang even means.
And this is so important. To really get to the bottom of this, we have to clear up one of the biggest misconceptions in all of science. See, when you or I, or even scientists, say the Big Bang, we could be talking about three totally different things. And when we mix them up, that's where all the confusion begins.
Okay, let's break this down. First, you've got the idea of a Big Bang singularity. This is the classic image of everything exploding from a single infinitely dense point. But here's the secret: it's just a hypothesis. It's really just a spot in our equations where the math goes haywire. Most physicists don't think it was a real physical thing. Then there's the Big Bang as a proven fact, that our universe is expanding from a hotter, denser past. This we know for sure. And third, there's the standard model of cosmology, our best, most detailed theory about that expansion. It's an amazing theory, but it's incomplete.
So if you take one thing away from this, let it be this: the Big Bang theory is not a theory of creation. It doesn't describe the bang itself. It's a theory about the evolution of the universe, what happened in the moments after it began. The actual moment of creation, that's still a complete mystery to our current science.
And I mean moments after. Our best tested physics, everything we know for sure, can only take us back to this point in time, 10 to the minus 36th of a second. That is a decimal point followed by 35 zeros and then a 1. It is an unbelievably, ridiculously small sliver of time. Everything that happened before that is a total black box. And it's in that tiny, mysterious gap that our story really begins.
And that gap is everything. Because while our standard model of the universe is fantastic, it leaves us with some absolutely massive puzzles. Puzzles so profound they make us question everything. And to solve them, we have to bravely peek into that first, unknown instant of time.
Okay, here are the big four head-scratchers. First, the flatness problem. Our universe is geometrically flat, which is super weird. Any tiny curve at the beginning should have been magnified over billions of years, so why is it so perfectly balanced? Then, the horizon problem. You can look in one direction of the sky and then the complete opposite, and the temperature is the same. But those two spots are so far apart, they've never had time to exchange heat and even out. How did they coordinate? Third, where did we come from? The universe needed some initial clumps to grow into galaxies, but where did those first seeds of structure come from? And finally, the monopole problem. Our theories predict that these weird magnetic particles should have flooded the early universe, but we've never seen a single one. Where did they all go?
This number, this is what keeps cosmologists up at night. This is the heart of that flatness problem. For our universe to exist as it does, its initial density had to be fine-tuned to 1 part in 10 to the power of 60. To give you an idea of how absurd that is, it's like firing a bullet across the entire observable universe and hitting a specific single atom on the other side. That's not a coincidence. Something had to make it that way.
So for the last few decades, the reigning champion, the leading explanation for all of this, has been a truly mind-bending idea called cosmic inflation. It's this one elegant tweak to the Big Bang story that tries to solve all those huge problems in one single beautiful stroke.
The idea behind inflation is that in that first mysterious fraction of a second, the universe went through a period of absolutely insane, hyper-accelerated growth. We're talking about space itself stretching exponentially, expanding way, way faster than the speed of light. Now, this isn't matter exploding out into space. This is the very fabric of space-time itself expanding.
And here's the genius of it. Imagine our entire universe started as one tiny, wrinkly, but connected little patch. Inflation takes that patch and stretches it out so enormously and so fast that all the wrinkles get smoothed out. Bam! The flatness and horizon problems are solved. It's like stretching a crumpled piece of paper until it's perfectly flat. And even better, tiny quantum jitters from that original patch got stretched too, becoming the perfect seeds for all the galaxies and stars we see today. It just works.
But inflation isn't the only game in town. There's a challenger, a rival theory that asks an even more radical question. What if the Big Bang wasn't a beginning at all? What if it was just a moment in time? This is the cyclic universe model, and it suggests our universe is just one link in an eternal chain of cosmic birth, death, and rebirth.
Now this idea comes from the wild frontier of physics, from things like string theory. It pictures our whole 4D universe as a kind of giant membrane, that call it a brain, that's just floating in a higher dimensional space. And in this picture, our Big Bang wasn't a beginning from nothing. Oh no. It was a collision, a cataclysmic clap between our brain and another one, releasing a tidal wave of energy that kick-started our universe's expansion.
So the process is endless. It starts with a bounce. That's the collision, our Big Bang. Then you get billions of years of expansion and cooling while galaxies form. Eventually things start to pull back together in a long, slow, gentle contraction. And this slow squeeze is what smooths everything out, solving the same puzzles as inflation, just in reverse. Finally, you get a crunch, which resets the whole system for the next bounce, the next Big Bang, an endless cycle.
So, here we are. We have two incredible but completely different stories about our origins. One says there was a single, explosive beginning. The other says our universe is part of an endless cycle. I mean, how could we possibly know which one is right? Well, this is where science today gets really, really cool.
Because for the first time in human history, this isn't just philosophy anymore. We can actually test these ideas. Cosmology has become a precision science. We have these amazing telescopes that can look all the way back 13.8 billion years and see the faint afterglow of the Big Bang itself. It's called the cosmic microwave background, and you can think of it as the universe's baby picture. And hidden in that ancient light are fossilized clues, echoes from the very first instant of time.
And here's the kicker. The two theories, inflation and the cyclic model, make different, testable predictions about what those echoes should look like. For instance, they both predict gravitational waves, ripples in space-time, but they predict different kinds of ripples. Inflation says the ripples should be about the same strength at all sizes, while the cyclic model says they should be stronger at smaller scales. They also predict different statistical patterns in that ancient light. We don't have to dive into the math, but the point is this: they leave different fingerprints. These aren't just stories anymore. They are real scientific hypotheses that we can finally actually test.
So as we speak, we are building bigger and better telescopes, peering deeper into that ancient light, searching for those definitive clues. We might be on the verge of finally answering that ultimate question. Was our Big Bang a singular, once-in-an-eternity event that created everything from nothing? Or is our entire cosmic history just one chapter in an endless book? Is it possible that our universe's beginning was simply another universe's end? The answer is out there, waiting for us, written in the oldest light in the sky.